This is First Person with Paul Hood.
Hello and welcome to First Person. First Person is all about the who, what, when, where, why, and how. We ask a random question and then we let each person have the last word. This is First Person.
I'm Paul Hood and I'm a local director of theater, also a playwright, film critic, and theater reviewer also. And that's what I am.
Age 38. I would like to be alive at 54. Alive at 54. People think I am exactly what I just mentioned. They know me as a writer, more so as a film critic and also a reviewer of film. But I'm also stepping into the playwriting and also directing. So I think I'm starting to make a name for myself in this town with those endeavors. So hopefully I can continue to do it and be successful. Well, people think I'm a writer and a director and also a film critic, and they also think I'm quite wealthy, but that is not the case. That's who I would like to be, a successful contributor in the arts community in Harrisburg, and also help build the arts community that's trying to build here. So I think that's who I'd like to be ultimately.
That's who I want to be in this town. Well, what I do is I actually write and direct plays and also review film and theater. I've been doing it now for about, I would say, roughly 10 years. And more so on the film front. I started with a small website called Harrisburg Online. I was working with writers such as Jersey Mike, who's out now the promoter for a lot of the events at ABC, Appalachian Brewing Company. And so yeah, I got my start doing that, and since then I've taken my other projects as a writer and expanded them into other areas. And that's mainly what I do, and I also work in the Susquehanna Township School District as a paraeducator. So yeah, that's what I do, and I'm glad I can do it. A lot of people don't get a chance to do anything in the arts, so I feel pretty lucky. Paraeducator, basically it's a fancy name for a teacher's assistant. Nowadays, everything that's, I don't want to say trivial, becomes they kind of placated with these long terms, and it's really just another way of naming a teacher's assistant. But I like what I do. It allows me enough time to pursue my other artistic endeavors that I'm trying to expand on. So what I would like to be doing is traveling more, and also getting a lot of my work published and also sent out to other places other than just the Harrisburg area. So that's what I want to do. I want to try and reach out and travel the world and see more places and meet more people. So. I am a Harrisburg native, technically. I was born in Alabama and I moved here from Ohio, if that makes sense. Basically, Mom was on vacation for the holidays. I decided I wanted to arrive. So, there you go. I was born technically in Alabama, but I'm from Ohio. So. But I've been here since I was 3 years old. So, yeah. And I had a quick stint when I moved to Pittsburgh for like a blink of an eye, and then I came back because I have a daughter who is getting to her teen years this year, and I wanted to be here for her, so I came back to the area. Now I'm trying to make the best of it, you know, working in the arts and just doing that. So I started writing when I was in high school, actually. Very badly, by the way, but you know, that's why it's a craft. You gotta keep working on it. But yeah, I realized I couldn't do algebra, so I was like, let me try something with words. I actually wrote a note to my algebra teacher telling her that I hated algebra so much. I explained to her that it wasn't something that I could excel at, and she was pretty moved by the letter I wrote. So she told me, hey, this is what you might want to consider. So since then, I've been trying to affect people with words, and I think I've done pretty well. I started in, let's see, 2005. I started with Harrisburg Online, like I mentioned before. And, you know, it was one of those things. It was another craft that I had to, you know, perfect and learn the technique of reviewing film. And so, yeah, 2005. So it's been about 8 years now that I've been doing between 8 and 10 years. Actually, I see myself taking the work I do in theater and in film, and also and with education. I feel like I'm gonna somehow venture into helping to build our arts community here and in the city, and that's like really important to me. I want everybody to succeed and everyone to have a stake and what we're trying to do in the city. And it's happening. There's a lot of great people that are already on board. There's production companies coming into play. There's people making movies, and we got a lot of playwrights in it. A lot of just this year, my Playwrights Alliance, we're known as PAPA, Pennsylvania Playwrights Alliance of Pennsylvania. We've done 4 shows, stage readings, one of which I directed for a great playwright by the name of Randy Gross. Where things are growing. I think that whole aspect of getting work tested and seeing if it works is something that's going to take off here. And now we just need the venues, and I think we're going to reach that goal. And I'm glad I'm going to be a part of that. So that's where I want to take what I'm doing with my writing. And, so we're on our way. Well, with people like John Trey Williams, who I'm lucky to have a chance to work with, and also Kelly Summerford, I see film coming into becoming a big part of Harrisburg. It's already big in Pittsburgh. Now we're trying to bring it here. So I think I think that's something that's going to take off here. We already have a slew of great local filmmakers, and I feel like we're going to make our claim to that area, to that particular medium. So it's going to be exciting. It's already exciting. Well, I think people should be interested in my work. Not to downplay who I am as a person, but I feel like I want my work to speak for me, so that's very important for me. I'm not so much as I'm not in this for fame, or it's not an image thing with me. I really just want to affect people and have people take something away from whatever I do. So that's why I think people should try and get to know me from that angle. If they want to get to know me personally, that's great. I'm very accessible. I answer emails and texts, and I'm not into the whole fame, and I'm not in this for anything like that. So I think that's why people should get to know me, because I'm humble, and I'm still I feel like I'm still learning a lot, And luckily, I've had a chance to work with some pretty great people. So yeah, and also because I'm pretty cool, I think. Film reviews are important because a lot of people they want to know what's going on as far as like there's particular films out. Some are more complex than others. People like myself that review film in the area, along with the other reviewers or critics such as Kevin Knox, and a host of others. I think that it's important for us to try and kind of dissect what's going on in that medium and try to explain it to the general public. And whether someone disagrees or agrees or disagrees with you is that's the whole point. But I think to give people a better understanding of the whole artistry of filmmaking, I think the reviewers and also critics are important in that medium. So that's why they're important. So, well, yeah. People can get in contact with me by my email, and I'm very diligent with checking my emails. It's P as in Paul, H as in Hood, wrote, WROTEIT, PH wrote it at gmail.com. Feel free to email me anytime you want if you have a question about a movie or a question about a play I'm working on or a play I'm writing. Feel free to contact me there, and I'll get back to you right away because I'm very good with that. So that's how you can get in contact with me, and that's that. Basically, it's real simple. You have to go into the more avant-garde, per se, films with an open mind. You can't go in expecting. If you go in with a high expectation, sometimes you're gonna have a letdown, and you just have to open your mind up and do a lot of. I don't want to sound like I'm preaching, but I think people need to do a lot more research and read more in regards to the kind of films they want to see, because that'll give them a better understanding of what they're taking on. So read more. People need to read more. I think we've gotten away from reading, and I think we need to get back to that, because that is what's killing. That's what's killing the arts. People aren't expanding their minds. They're becoming rigid. So we need to open things up, and also with that, open up our minds and then take on things that challenge us, not just what you know. I think you should try and get out of your comfort zone. And so, yeah, that's what you have to do to understand the really complicated indie films. Thank you very much. I don't know. It's like, how can you not eat? That's what it's like for me. Movies are food for my brain and for my soul. I can't explain it. Like every time I go to a movie, or every time I go to a play, or every time I break something new, it's like I'm doing it for the first time. The experience is always new for me, as crazy as that sounds. So I think every time I go to a movie, it's like, wow, it's like I'm just doing, like I'm that 8-year-old kid that snuck in to see Psycho at the Elks Theater in Middletown. So that's what it's like for me, and I refuse to get jaded. So.
Let's say someone came to you and they said, Paul Hood, we want you to give us the script and the characters for the most successful and best movie ever, something that would compete with like Titanic. Where would you start in writing that film, in creating that experience?
Well, first of all, you got to find a good, solid story that stands up to something as epic as Titanic. There's so many stories. I grab stories from conversations and events in the newspaper. But what you have to do is
first, you have to develop the whole plot before you sit down and see. Here's a mistake people make: they grab a piece of paper and they start writing without developing anything first. And yes, I know some people have a really organic style of writing. I myself am guilty of that, but that's how I work. But then I go back and I try and develop the story before I even think about doing anything further. So the main thing is to get your spine right, which is the background of your story, what holds it up. And once you get that right and everything is pretty much laid out, then you can start writing and developing your characters and your plot and your subplots. See, and that's what's missing in a lot of the work being put out today. People are not taking their time and they're rushing. But, this is a learning experience, and they're going to learn the hard way, unfortunately.
My film would be about this guy that has a camera, and it's like he walks around with this camera all day long, and he shoots random people and he asks them questions, and he wants them to do it in first person. Yes, that's what my film would be about. Wouldn't that be so great? The action, see, the thing is, I'm not an action guy, so it would be so character driven that, who needs action? He's a character. Everyone's a character in this place. Camera, himself, and you know what? I think I'm gonna call him. His name is Paul Barnes. And he just shaved his head, folks, to look like me. I knew it. Paul Barnes wants to be Paul Hood.
I'm going to put a disclaimer under that to make sure that people know I don't want to be Paul Hood. I very much enjoy being Paul Barnes, but...
Final word. All right, here it is. Ladies and gentlemen, final word. Please take your time, perfect your craft, get it as tight as you can, show it to the world, smile and be happy, be positive. No haters. No haters allowed in Harrisburg. We're trying to build a great arts community. Check out Third and the Bird. Check out local theater. Read the paper. Stay informed. That's what you need to do. So let's all come together and build this awesome community of arts, visual artists, photographers, writers, dancers, poets. And that's the last word. That's the final word. So that's all I got.
You want more, don't you? Let me think here. One more thing. Check out the play I'm directing, assistant directing with Marjorie Bicknell at Little Theater of Mechanicsburg. Opening October 19th. I don't know the dates. Just check out Little Theater of Mechanicsburg, Mechanicsburg's website, ltmonline.com or org. Trust me on that. And cut. Guess what, folks? This is First Person, and guess who I am? Yep, Paul Hood.